When we're talking about what constitutes a sentence and the basic structures of a sentence, you got to consider what is an independent and what is a dependent clause. So, a quick review: an independent clause is just a simple sentence. You learn that on this page. A simple sentence is an independent clause, a subject and a verb, like you saw on the last slide. So, if you have a subject and a verb, I am, we are, I ran, those are independent pieces. You don't need anything else to understand what's going on. However, just like a human being that is dependent, a dependent clause or subordinate clause means that you need other information for that to make sense. Usually, what that means is you have a full sentence with a subordinating conjunction or a subordinator, they call it. It's something that makes that clause dependent upon other clauses. So when we talk about that, that could be because, even though, it could be although, it could be whenever, it could be unless, until. There's a whole list of them that I'll link here on the page for you. But if it incorporates one of these words at the beginning of the independent clause, it most likely is a dependent clause. So let's kind of look at it. Let's say this: my students write essays. That's an independent clause. But if I add a subordinating conjunction, whenever, that becomes a dependent clause. So let's hear it. Whenever my students write essays, do you hear how it kind of sounds like you need more? Now, that could be a response to a question. Be like, hey, when do your students hate your class most? Whenever they write essays. That would work. But if you read it and you write it in the context of a dependency, like whenever my students write essays, it's dependent on the final product, comma, they hate my class. Whenever my students write essays, comma, they hate my class. I think that's pretty clear.